Today is the first Sunday in Advent, and we are less than a month away from Christmas Eve. In the spirit of conflict management, one of the key tactics is creating working agreements. Here's a few things I might put on the list, Catholic edition. First up, to the Catholic churches, please have your Mass times readily available and accessible. Shout out to the app Mass Times, which I have used all over the world, but I always use that as a starting point and then go to the individual Mass website just to confirm. And it is one of my pet peeves that it is hard to find the Mass times, which is the most basic thing about a Catholic church. Next up, to all you chatterboxes, I love community. I want you to be here and I want you to socialize, but outside the sanctuary. We take pride on learning to be still and be silent. And unless your church is super small and literally the sanctuary is the only room, please go talk outside so that when people are coming into Mass, they can sit and pray or stay and pray after Mass. When there is so much going on in the world everywhere else, this is the one place where we can go and just be with Jesus. Okay, the next few things is a simulation. I only have bar stools, but imagine they're pews. First thing, it is customary that when Catholics enter a pew before Mass and exit the pew at the end, we kneel next to it and genuflect. So first point there is, if you're not Catholic, you could do that. You don't have to. Nothing's barring you. All right, next, in the spirit of genuflecting, all right? Normally, social norms are you stay to one side. You don't walk in the middle. Normally, if you walk in the middle of an aisle, you're considered oblivious. That is not the case, at least at the end of Mass, right? Because everybody, every Catholic, at the end of Mass is going to be genuflecting, kneeling, okay, next to the pew. So I highly suggest people that have already done your genuflecting to walk down the middle as you are leaving the church, to give people on each side room to genuflect next. Okay, now when we get in the pew after we genuflect going into Mass, it is often where we sit in the pew and we kneel and we do a quick prayer before Mass, okay? So there's a few things. There might be people already sitting there when you come into a Mass. My suggestion for our working norm is that it's right of first refusal. Whoever's there first, everybody else has to work around them. So there's a few scenarios that happen. All right? I'm sitting down. There's somebody in front of me. Their back is against the back of the pew. So I don't want to get up all in their space. So I might kneel, but then kind of just lean back here, right? I don't have to go all the way up to them. All right? Second scenario. I go to sit down and there's someone behind me. If that person is kneeling and has their hands up here to pray on the back of the pew, same thing. When you're done praying, you don't have to lean all the way back. Give them some space. But to everybody, be aware of your surroundings and know that it's not all about you. So now, specifically on holidays, it is customary that somebody in a family will get to Mass early, maybe even an hour or more early, and save a whole bunch of seats. Here's why I don't love that. On one hand, I'm all for people getting there early. However, there are people that are going to be getting there before your family members, and I think that they should sit down first, especially when the whole thing about our faith is there wasn't enough room in the end. And frankly, I don't think that's very nice, especially when there might be people that are coming solo, like I often do, or they haven't been to Mass ever, or not a long time, and we want them to feel welcome, all right? Now, if you are going to save seats, I recommend that being towards the back of the church for that reason. I also know people that a family member will get there early and then the parent with young children will come later. Again, I actually don't have a problem with that. I just don't think it's, again, very nice to save the first few rows when there are other people that are getting there first. Next up, communion practices, which this is often a point of contention, that in the Catholic Church, only Catholics can receive communion, okay? But if you are Catholic and for whatever reason not receiving communion, or if you're not Catholic, there are two options. You can stay seated in the pew. My suggestion, especially if you are close to the end, is to step out and let everybody go in, and then you can sit back down, all right? The second option is you can go up and you can receive a blessing by putting your arms crossed like this so that you can still participate in the ceremony in some way. And also, blessings are nice, right? But you don't have to. And then the last one, y'all, is the parking lot. Y'all, people get crazy. Our priest actually had to have multiple conversations from the pulpit about how many cars have been damaged in the parking lot. Some either because people aren't paying attention or because they're getting road rage at church. All right? And then I guess one thing I would also add is there might be people at churches that are begging for food or money. And I know a lot of churches will turn them away for one reason or another. I'm an advocate for leading them to the organizations that will help provide food, shelter, and clothing. One of my favorites is the St. Vincent de Paul Society, and, doing whatever we can. Because even if they're faking it, we don't know that, right? And frankly, I'm the one that's going to be looking at Jesus when it's my time to go. All right, I'm Katrina, the Scrum Mother, your Catholic Scrum Master.